Just a wrap up of the work session in the council meeting for the City of Grand Rapids for Monday, October 8th. The work session this afternoon was primarily focused on a critical issue around here as it relates to our clean water and everyone's desire to have an impact and to be able to do what we can to combat some of those issues as it relates to clean water. So we had Bill Branch, Susan Braun-Johnson, and Rich Vasenka in, and we talked about the lakes in the City of Grand Rapids that are either zebra mussels from Winnie Dam down to the City of Grand Rapids where they found evidence of zebra mussels, the Eurasian water milfoil that is showing up in 3 of our city lakes, McKinney, Hale, and Crystal. At this point in time, it is not showing up in Forest, Horseshoe, and Lily, but purple loose strife is showing up in Lily. So it's what can we do as a community and what can we do as residents that can promote the clean water that we are accustomed to and we'd like to see on those lakes. So it was enlightening, and it was an opportunity for all of us as a council to hear what we can do as a city, and it will come into our discussions as we go forward on what we can do as a city to promote and to support the work of the residents around those lakes to try and clean those up. Department head report this evening was done by Barb Bear in Finance, which is typically a recap of where we are through the 3rd quarter of the year. And bottom line is, from a financial standpoint, our revenues are where they should be as it relates to our expenses, and Barb went individually through the departments, and if you certainly want to get that, there is a way probably off the city's webpage that you can pull that report up and you can see individually where we sit by department. Rob Mattei under Community Development had quite a bit of work this evening. We had a proposal by SRF for the comprehensive plan. We've talked about comprehensive plan and getting a new one going for going on 2 years now. And for those out there that need refreshing or did not know, a comp plan is what the city uses as a roadmap for how we are going to grow and develop as a community. So our last comp plan is nearing its end date on its useful life, and we will be developing a new comp plan over the next few months with a time frame of having it done by August 1st. And there's going to be an opportunity for a lot of folks out there to be able to get involved as residents and stuff, as well as being on a steering committee. We're looking for, it was 16 and I believe it is now 17 by council resolution. We added 1 additional council person to that steering committee, so there will be 2 and 2 from planning, and then from different segments of the population out there on the steering committee. But under the steering committee will be where we'll get the huge amount of community input as it relates to their areas and critical issues and needs that people see should be built into a city's comp plan. And that will be our new roadmap that we'll be focusing on in 2019 and beyond. So a lot of legwork going in there. It's a little bit higher than we had anticipated to start with. We were looking at roughly around 70,000. It's going to come in right around 80,000 in order to do that. We also had an approval for SEH to do some site work and stuff from planning around the east and west new grade schools. So you know the west grade school is going to be out Golf Course Road and 76 on that corner. The east one is going to be directly east of the Robert J. Elkington current middle school, and it'll cut across the 11th Avenue and stuff out into the sports complex. So a lot of work getting done in preparation. People have wondered, geez, we passed that referendum way back. You know, well, there's everything's still on and moving forward, and they're just getting everything in place, you know, in order to get the final work going on those projects. Matt Wagworth was in under engineering, talked about the final charges for the services that were out there under a public hearing on what we charge for our road projects that were completed, and some of them actually won't be completed till next spring when they put the final wear layer down, at which time they'll see, did the road sink, did we have any issues with it over the winter, then they'll put that final wear coat on. So we did have 3 community members that had questions. Teresa Duffner had a question, Andy Klaus and Cheryl Tokarczyk had questions on cost and how it's broken down, what part is consistent and what part, how much is the owner responsibility, and that it's a city policy that it's the same for any project. 30% of the project is the responsibility of the residents, 70% is responsibility of the city. So the only thing that changes as a variable is what the materials cost at that point in time, and it gives you by linear feet. But this projects this year is relatively the same. It's about $9 to $10 a linear foot on those projects. And then Matt was also in to talk about the construction with SEH of what the roads would look out like around the west grade school project out on 76. So he gave us an overlay of 22nd, the extension of 22nd across Golf Course Road, and then it would come around to 8th Street and tie back into County Road 76. So with that, I think the council was very pleased with how it eventually will look, and that a lot of thought was put into the traffic flows and the impacts of traffic, whether at 22nd there should have been a roundabout versus turn lanes. And I think the consensus of the road department and our engineering department is that it does not require a roundabout, that turn lanes would be sufficient in order to accommodate traffic flows at that point in time that vary, but certainly are not huge in the summer months when school is out. It's for in that 9-month period when school is in service. So with that, we're looking forward to meeting again on the 22nd, so hopefully everyone has a good evening.